My name is Dan. Welcome to Sports and Songs, a special episode. Today on August 18th, special episode of Sports and Songs. This is the amateur baseball edition. What I'm calling this is the mid-August update. There's so much baseball in the state of Minnesota, as those of you who are well aware. It's really the leader in the nation when it comes to amateur baseball. State tournament time coming up. The attendance records that are broken and the number of people attending these games along with the fans, it's really what Minnesota is all about here. Lots of activity, lots of actions, and this is a hotbed for amateur sports. So let's go through the state tournament for amateur baseball. To give everyone a primer, in amateur baseball in the state of Minnesota, there's three classes, Class A, B, and C. Class A started last week already with the Sweet 16 round. Single elimination. You lose, you go home. Class A teams are mainly the teams within the 494, 694 artery around the Twin Cities. Those are the locals teams. Those are more the city teams. Don't draw as many fans. They still have good baseball. They still have good pedigrees and good guys on these squads. That single elimination tournament, 16 teams make it. Last weekend, they narrowed it down to 8. Here are the remaining 8 teams. Stockman's Irish. They should be, I believe, one of the favorites. They'll be playing Lions Pub. Minneapolis Cobras, they're the defending champions. Will be playing the St. Anthony Hogs. Now, all these games are hosted in St. Anthony at the St. Anthony Village High School, on the high school field. Nice field. But St. Anthony Hogs really are playing home games for this state tournament at home. Next matchup is Baseball 365. They'll be taking on the Minnetonka Millers. Minnetonka Millers have won 2 out of the last 3 years the state tournament. They're always in the mix of things. They are going to be a favorite from the bottom half of the bracket. Highland Park Beavers will be playing the Air Freight Company. And so these games are going to be Saturday and Sunday. Lose, you're done. Winner advances. Straight, easy, single elimination baseball tournament. That's Class A. Now, due to the COVID and the pandemic, large crowds cannot gather. They are doing 250 capacity at the state tournament games. No more than 250 fans will be able to be allowed in. So what's happening is the local prep sports broadcasting network, if you will, television channel, Channel 45 here in the Twin Cities, they have a website called prep45.com. They are going to be streaming all of the games. That's prep45.com. I think it's $6.99 to watch a single game. And then I believe it's $25 for a weekend, maybe, and $35 for the whole shebang. The other state tournaments, Class B and C, actually run 3 weekends long. The $35 deal to watch those games broadcast isn't that bad of a deal for the number of games that are coming. Now, in order to go to the games, they're $7 a piece to get in, but you need to work directly with the team to get the tickets, as they are only allotted $125 per team. So very interesting to see how that's all going to play out here. But once again, we're talking Class A first. That'll wrap up here this weekend. A new team will be crowned champion. Minneapolis Cobras are the defending champions. Now, Class B, 16 teams make the state, and these are teams that are typically loaded up with guys who played minor leagues, professional baseball, farm system baseball for the majors, or college at some level. These guys are good. These teams are very good. Only 16 left in the state. they will play, starting this weekend, their state tournament. And that is a mix of a single elimination and a double elimination mix. These are some good ball games to watch. The host for Class B will be Shakopee, Joe Schlepper Stadium. Shakopee will host all of Class A games. Once again, you can go live, try to get tickets. You can watch it live on the broadcast. But these will be some very good games with some very good players and some names that may ring a bell. Now, moving on to Class C. Class C is really where it's at when it comes to Minnesota State baseball. It's all the outstate teams. It's all the very small towns you've never heard of, with great nicknames. But the way this operates, because we're dealing with over 300 teams in the state, the final 48 make it to the state tournament. 48 teams are in this state tournament. It's not double elimination, single elimination. So you lose, you're done. Every game's an elimination game. The first weekend of the tournament, which is coming up this Saturday and this Sunday, are going to be hosted between the sites of Milroy, Minnesota, which is southwest Minnesota, and Springfield, more south central Minnesota. The top 16 teams, top 16, receive a bye for the first round. So they will not be playing those teams that won their section or the teams that won their region. There's 16 regions in the state of Minnesota. The winners have the first week off. They will not be playing Saturday or Sunday, which means everyone else will be playing. 32 teams will be playing this weekend. 16 games on Saturday, 16 games on Sunday. Between the two sites, that's 4 games a day. And I believe the way they do it is like a 10 o'clock game, 1 o'clock game, 5 o'clock game, and a 7:30 game. Something to that effect. But they will be clearing out the fans after each game at the sites to bring in the new fans to keep it under that 250 cap level. If you can't make it or don't want to make it, those games once again on the Prep 45 broadcast. These are going to be some good games, good ball games here. In order to even reach the state, you need to have a pretty solid team here. Once again, this is known here in the United States. Minnesota baseball, this state tournament is known around the U.S. as the place to be. Other states certainly have their state tournaments. They're nothing as big and prolific as this one. Now, because we're talking amateur baseball is really classified here as adult league baseball. Ages 16 and 17 are typically your youngest players on an amateur baseball team. But it could go up to include men in their 30s and 40s. Minnesota State baseball is also known for the first ever state in the U.S. to have an over 35 baseball program. Over 35. 41 years ago, the Minnesota state of Minnesota created the very first league in its nation called Over 35 Senior Men's Baseball. And right now there are 2 leagues in the state of Minnesota. I think it's roughly, 75 teams in the state play in Over 35 Senior Men's Baseball. There's a federal league that has 21 teams, and then the Minnesota Senior Men's Baseball Association has the remaining teams. Both of those state tournaments were held last weekend for the opening round, and then this coming weekend for the second round, for the final round. So if you're an over 35 or a fan or a player, your season will come to a close here this weekend. Saturday and Sunday, they'll wrap things up, crown the champions, and their season will be done. Once again, that's over 35 baseball. They will wrap up on Sunday. So baseball in the state of Minnesota here, we're midway through the month of August. If your team's not done by now, they certainly will be here in the next couple of weeks, as very few teams will remain until Labor Day weekend, which is when the state tournament championship is held for Class C. It runs the weekends until Labor Day weekend. Labor Day itself is the final game. Now, we also have, in addition to the over 35 baseball, Minnesota is also known as the first state to create an over 50 men's baseball amateur league. Over 50. If you're over 50 years old, you can play baseball in the state of Minnesota. Other states now have adopted it as well, but the state of Minnesota is where it's at for over 50 baseball. Tons of teams, lots of talent, and good games to watch. These are usually 7-inning games or doubleheaders where they play 6 innings each. The over 50 league, to accommodate all the previous leagues I've mentioned here on this broadcast, typically start their season a month later. And then by doing so, they'll finish a month later. The over 50 league, after everything's done here in Minnesota State Amateur Baseball, will be wrapped up by Labor Day weekend. Over 50 will still be playing all through the month of September. And they themselves, that league, will have their state tournament for the over 50. So hopefully that's a good overview here. What to look for, how to get your tickets, where to watch online, how to watch the broadcast. Lots of baseball here coming up, and it is good. The teams that you have, if you've got a favorite team or not, or a local team, or someone that you're following, these are some good baseball games. These are some good ball games, and especially these Class C. I can't stress it enough. If you buy that package, watch it on television. They'll be announcing and broadcasting those games on your internet. These are some good talent. For Sports and Songs, my name is Dan. Thanks for listening, and please leave your comments below.